I, Nebuchadnezzar, hereby decree that all the wise men in Babylon shall be executed.
Every wise man in Babylon to be executed for failing to reveal a mystery. Every December we see them, men in silk robes, riding camels across the dunes, following a star. We call them the Three Kings. We give them names like Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. We put them in our nativity scenes right next to the shepherds. But if you open your Bible to Matthew chapter 2, you are going to notice something missing. Nowhere does it say there were three of them. Nowhere does it say they were kings. The Bible simply calls them wise men from the East. And that leaves us with a massive historical problem. Why would a group of high-ranking scholars from a foreign empire care about a Jewish baby? Why would they travel 900 miles across a bandit-filled desert to worship a king that wasn't theirs? How did they know the time? How did they know the sign? The answer isn't found in the manger. It's found in a death sentence issued 600 years earlier, in the city of Babylon. The year is 603 BC. We are in the court of King Nebuchadnezzar II. The most powerful man on earth is having a nightmare he can't understand, and he is terrified. He summons his advisors, the wise men of Babylon. These were the elite intellectuals of the ancient world, astronomers, mathematicians, scholars. But they fail him. Nebuchadnezzar snaps. In a blind rage, he issues a decree that would change history. Destroy all the wise men of Babylon. It was a mass execution order, and caught in the middle of it were 4 young Hebrew captives who had just been drafted into the king's service. One of them was Daniel. Daniel doesn't panic. He asks for time. He prays to the God of Israel, and God reveals the mystery that no one else could solve. Daniel walks into the throne room, interprets the king's dream, and saves the lives of every single wise man in the city. But look closely at what happens next. Daniel 2:48 says the king made Daniel a great man and, this is the key, made him chief administrator over all the wise men of Babylon. From that day forward, the prophet Daniel was their leader. He was their headmaster. And for the next 70 years, he didn't just govern them, he taught them. Imagine the scene. You have the greatest prophet of the Old Testament leading a school of Eastern scholars. Do you think he kept his visions to himself? Or did he share the secrets God had given him? We know Daniel had specific prophecies about the coming Messiah. In Daniel chapter 9, the angel Gabriel gives him the 70 weeks prophecy. It wasn't a vague prediction, it was a mathematical timeline, a countdown to the arrival of Messiah the Prince. Daniel wrote these things down. He sealed the scrolls. And when he died, who inherited his library? Who kept his archives? The wise men of the East. Generations passed. Empires fell. But the order of the wise men continued in Persia and Parthia. They were the keepers of the Daniel legacy. They had the timeline. They knew the math. And as the centuries turned, they realized something terrifying and wonderful. The time was up. They were watching the skies, not because they were superstitious, but because they were expecting a signal. Numbers 24:17. a prophecy from the east, said, "A star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel." So when that anomalous light appeared in the western sky, they didn't hesitate. They knew the prophecy, they knew the timeline, and now they saw the sign. But was it just a star? Matthew says the star went before them and then stood over where the young child was. Natural stars don't stop. They don't hover over a specific house in a village. This behaves less like astronomy and more like the Shekinah, the glory of God that led Israel through the wilderness. Whether it was a supernatural alignment or the very light of God, it was a beacon meant for the only people on earth who were actually looking for it. And here lies the great tragedy of the Christmas story. When the wise men arrived in Jerusalem asking, "Where is he?" the religious leaders knew the answer. They quoted Micah 5:2 immediately, "In Bethlehem." But did you notice? The scribes didn't go. Bethlehem was only 5 miles away, a 2-hour walk. But the experts in the law were too busy, too proud, or too asleep to check. Who went? The outsiders, the men from the east. The spiritual descendants of Daniel's school. They traveled for months to bow before a king they had never seen, while his own people wouldn't walk 5 miles to greet him. They brought gold for a king, frankincense for a priest, and myrrh for a sacrifice. They knew exactly who he was. The story of the wise men isn't a fairy tale. It's a testament to the faithfulness of God. He planted a seed in Babylon 600 years in advance, just to ensure that when his son was born, there would be someone, anyone, waiting to worship him. 2,000 years later, the wise men still show up every December. On coffee mugs, in store windows, on plastic nativity sets. But the question hasn't changed. They crossed deserts to find him. We cross aisles at the mall. They followed a star. We follow sales, trends, and shipping deadlines. At Christmas, are we actually looking for the king? Or just for the season? This Christmas, don't just display the wise men. Follow their example. God still leads seekers to his Son. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Bible hidden mysteries, and comment which mystery in the Bible you want us to unveil. If this history fascinated you, wait until you hear the truth about the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. Click that video right there.